Before you face anything today, take a deep breath and turn your gaze back to Jesus, because what you look at will shape your heart. Hebrews 12:2. Looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. Sometimes your eyes wander to what's broken, what's missing, or what feels heavy. The weight of it all can make you forget where your true help comes from. But this morning, as the light rises, lift your eyes to Jesus, the one who began your story and will finish it with grace. Every sunrise is God's reminder that your faith still has a future. No matter what yesterday looked like, He is not done with you yet. He endured the cross, despised the shame, and now sits at the right hand of the throne of God, victorious over every darkness that tries to touch your life. When you look to Him, you'll notice how everything else begins to fade. The noise of fear, the pull of pride, the ache of disappointment, they lose their power when your gaze is set on Christ. And maybe that's exactly what your soul needs today. Not another plan, not another promise from people, but a moment to be still and fix your eyes on the one who never changes. Lord, help me not to be distracted by what's temporary. Help me to keep my heart steady in you. I confess that I often look at my problems longer than I look at your promises. But today, I choose differently. I lift my eyes to where my help comes from. I focus not on what's gone wrong, but on who you are, faithful, unshakable, and full of mercy. Teach me to look to you not only in crisis, but in calm. Let my first glance each morning be gratitude, and my last thought each night be trust. When I feel weak, remind me that your strength is made perfect in my weakness. When I feel lost, remind me that your path is sure. And when I'm tempted to drift away, pull my heart back to the cross, where all things find their meaning again. You began this good work in me, Lord, and I know you will complete it. Every prayer whispered, every tear unseen, every quiet act of faith is part of what you are building. My job is not to control the outcome, but to keep my eyes on you while you work. I don't need to understand every step to keep walking. I just need to stay close. And so this morning, I choose to look up. I choose to believe that you are greater than what surrounds me. I choose to let your presence define my peace. May my life reflect your glory today, Jesus. The best is not behind me. It's unfolding with every breath you give. For you, O Lord, are my lamp. The Lord turns my darkness into light. Psalm 18:28. There's peace waiting on the other side of surrender, when you finally let go of your will and choose God's. Sometimes the hardest part of faith isn't believing that God can do something. It's believing that His way is better than yours. We make plans, we chase outcomes, we try to manage everything so it doesn't fall apart. But Jesus calls us to something higher, something quieter, a daily laying down of ourselves so that His will can take root within us. Matthew 16:24 says, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me." Those words are not meant to crush you, they're meant to free you. To deny yourself doesn't mean you lose value. It means you let go of everything that keeps you from becoming who God designed you to be. The cross you carry might look different each day. Forgiveness, patience, humility, endurance. But every act of surrender builds strength in your spirit. It's not weakness to submit, it's wisdom to trust. Lord, I admit there are times when I cling to my plans out of fear. I hold on because I think I know best, but you remind me again and again that peace lives on the other side of letting go. Teach me to loosen my grip. Teach me to walk where you lead, even when I can't see the whole path. I don't need to understand every step to trust that you are guiding them. When you carried your cross, Lord, you showed us that surrender is not defeat but divine love in motion. Help me carry mine with grace. When obedience feels heavy, give me strength. When sacrifice feels painful, remind me that you see it and that nothing surrendered to you is ever wasted. Let every yes to your will become a seed of joy planted in my heart. Some days, following you means forgiving when it's hard. Other days it means staying patient when answers seem delayed. But through it all, you are near. You never ask me to lay something down without preparing to lift me higher through it. So today, I yield. I choose your way over my way. I trade anxiety for trust, control for peace, and striving for surrender. And in that choice, I find rest. I don't need to be strong on my own. Your strength is enough. I don't need to chase my own desires. Your goodness satisfies them all. So here I am, Lord. Take what I cannot carry. Lead me into the quiet joy of obedience, the steady confidence of your will. Tomorrow's worries can wait. Today I walk with you. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. Psalm 37:5. It's easy to get caught up in the world's idea of greatness, to think that your worth is measured by what you achieve, what you earn, or how you appear. But God measures differently. His eyes don't look for perfection or position. They search for purity of heart. 1 Timothy chapter 4:8 reminds us, "For bodily exercise profits a little, but godliness is profitable for all things, having promise of the life that now is and of that which is to come." The strength that matters most isn't the kind you can see. It's the kind that comes from walking humbly with God. As you wake this morning, take a moment to remember that godliness isn't about religion or performance. It's about relationship. It's the quiet way you love others when no one notices, the patience you show when you're misunderstood, the peace you hold when life feels uncertain. Godliness grows in the soil of surrender. When you put His will above your own, you are exercising a faith that transforms you from the inside out. Lord, make my heart more like yours. I don't want to live for applause or comparison. I want to live for your smile. Teach me to seek holiness over happiness, humility over recognition, service over status. Let your Spirit strengthen what's weak in me and purify what's hidden. Shape my desires until they reflect your goodness. When I feel unseen, remind me that you see. When I grow weary doing what's right, remind me that you reward faithfulness in due time. Help me not to trade eternal treasures for temporary praise. Let my daily life preach a silent sermon of love, kindness, and integrity. You've called me not to impress, but to impact. Not to build a name, but to lift yours. True godliness is steady and simple. It doesn't shout, it shines. It's found in gratitude when things go well and in endurance when they don't. Lord, may my actions echo your grace today. May my words carry your gentleness. May my thoughts be anchored in truth. I know the world chases strength, but you promise that your power is made perfect in weakness. So, I rest in that promise. I choose to value what lasts, mercy, compassion, and love that never fails. I choose to walk in the Spirit rather than strive in the flesh. Every moment of obedience is a victory unseen but celebrated in heaven. So, as this day unfolds, help me walk with quiet confidence in your presence. Let my heart beat to the rhythm of your will. Let my life reflect your holiness and my soul rest in your peace. Tomorrow's blessings will come, but today, may I live in godliness that pleases you. For the Lord God is a sun and shield. The Lord will give grace and glory. No good thing will he withhold from those who walk uprightly. Psalm 84:11. Faith doesn't always begin in comfort. Sometimes it begins in confusion. It's in those quiet, uncertain mornings when you're not sure what comes next that faith becomes most alive. 2 Corinthians 5:7 reminds us, "For we walk by faith, not by sight." To walk by faith means trusting what you cannot yet see, believing in what God has promised even when there's no visible proof. It's easy to trust when everything makes sense, but real faith holds steady when the road disappears beneath your feet. You may be standing at a point in your life where the facts look final. The doctor's report, the bank balance, the broken relationship. They all seem to speak louder than God's promise. But remember, faith doesn't deny reality. It declares that God is greater than reality. The facts may say you are weak, but faith says His strength is made perfect in your weakness. The facts may say the door is closed, but faith says God can open one no man can shut. Lord, help me believe beyond what I see. When my mind fills with doubt, let your word anchor me again. When fear whispers that I'm alone, remind me that you are near. When life feels uncertain, teach me to keep walking, one step at a time, trusting that your light will meet me at each turn. You've never failed me, and you never will. Faith is not loud or showy. Sometimes it's as quiet as a whispered prayer in the dark, as small as a sigh that says, God, I still believe. Even mustard seed faith moves mountains, because its strength lies not in size, but in surrender. So if all you can do today is take one trembling step in His direction, that is enough. God honors even the smallest act of trust. Maybe you've prayed for years and haven't seen the answer yet. Maybe you've been believing for a breakthrough that seems delayed, but delay is not denial. God's silence is not His absence. The same God who guided Noah through the flood and Daniel through the lions is still guiding you through your uncertainty. Faith doesn't make life easier. It makes it possible. Lord, I choose faith over fear today. I choose to believe that even this season has purpose. I may not see the whole picture, but I trust the artist who paints it. Let my life become a testimony of what happens when a soul believes despite the storm. Let my confidence rest, not in circumstances, but in your unchanging nature. Tomorrow will bring its own challenges, but today I walk by faith. Today I trust the unseen hand that holds my future. I will sing of your strength in the morning. I will sing of your love, for you are my fortress, my refuge in times of trouble. Psalm 59:16. There is something sacred about the quiet moments of prayer, when the world is still and the heart begins to breathe again. 1 Thessalonians 5:17 says, "Pray without ceasing." It's not a command meant to burden you, but an invitation to stay close to the one who loves you most. Prayer is not about perfect words or polished speech, it's about connection. It's the conversation that keeps your soul alive. Just as your body cannot live without air, your spirit cannot thrive without prayer. When life grows noisy, prayer brings clarity. When you feel weak, prayer renews your strength. It's not always about asking God to change your circumstances. Sometimes it's about letting Him change your heart within those circumstances. Every prayer, no matter how small, opens a door for God's presence to enter. He doesn't need eloquence. He desires honesty. Even a whisper, "Lord, help me," is enough to reach heaven. Lord, remind me today that prayer is not my last resort, it's my first response. Teach me to run to you before I run to anyone else. When my mind is restless, let my spirit find calm in your presence. When my plans fall apart, let my knees find the ground before my heart finds despair. Prayer is not about getting everything I want, but about receiving everything I need. Your peace, your wisdom, your grace. Sometimes, prayer doesn't change what's around me, but it always changes what's within me. It softens what's hard. It humbles what's proud. It strengthens what's weary. And when I feel like my prayers are too small to matter, you remind me that nothing lifted to you is ever wasted. You keep every word, every tear, every sigh in your presence. Psalm 34:15 says, "The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and His ears are attentive to their cry." So I will keep praying, Lord, in joy and in sorrow, in success and in struggle. I will lift my voice to you. Even when answers seem delayed, I'll trust that your timing is still perfect. When I can't see what you're doing, I'll trust that you're still working. Prayer is not about speed, it's about staying. It's about walking with you every step, never out of ritual, always out of love. And in that love, I find peace. I don't need to know what tomorrow holds when I can speak to the one who holds tomorrow. My prayers don't have to be long, they just have to be real. You hear me even in silence, and you move even when I don't see it. So this morning, Lord, let prayer rise like breath in my lungs. Let every moment draw me closer to you until my heart beats in rhythm with your will. In the morning, Lord, you hear my voice. In the morning, I lay my requests before you and wait expectantly. Psalm 5:3. There are mornings when life feels heavy and the world seems louder than your peace. Yet in those quiet hours, God whispers again, "Be still and know that I am God." Psalm 46:10. That stillness is not the absence of movement, it's the presence of His peace. When you quiet your thoughts, you make room for His voice to rise above the noise. You begin to sense that you are not forgotten, not abandoned, but deeply seen and perfectly held. God's nearness is not based on how you feel, it's based on who He is. He promised in Psalm 145:18, "The Lord is near to all who call upon Him, to all who call upon Him in truth." That means even in moments when your heart feels far away, He is already close, waiting for you to notice. He is present in the ordinary rhythm of your morning, in the sunrise that touches your window, in the breath that fills your lungs, in the small mercies that greet you before the day begins. Lord, help me to recognize your nearness. When I rush through my day, slow me down long enough to see your hand at work. When I feel overwhelmed, remind me that your presence is my peace. I don't need to chase you, I just need to acknowledge that you are already here. You walk beside me through every valley, and you rejoice with me on every hilltop. You are my constant, my anchor, my safe place to land. So often I look for your presence in the spectacular, but you reveal yourself in the simple. In the quiet faithfulness of every sunrise, you remind me that your mercy is new again. In the stillness of prayer, you remind me that my worth doesn't depend on my performance, but on your love. Even when my emotions fluctuate, your faithfulness remains steady. You are not distant, you are deeply involved. Let this awareness change how I walk today. Let it turn my worries into worship and my busyness into blessing. Every time I forget your closeness, whisper to my heart again, "I am with you." Let that truth be louder than fear, stronger than anxiety, and deeper than doubt. I don't walk through this day alone. You go before me, beside me, and within me. Your presence is not just something I visit, it's where I belong. And when the day grows long and my strength begins to fade, I will remember this moment, that peace was never far away. It was always here, waiting for me to be still. Tomorrow will bring its own challenges, but today I rest in your nearness. In the morning, I will sing of your love, for you have been my fortress, my refuge in times of trouble. Psalm 59:16. There are moments when life feels like a storm, when everything familiar shakes beneath your feet. Yet even in the storm, God remains your anchor. Romans 8:28 reminds us, "And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose." That promise doesn't mean every moment will feel good, but it means every moment will be used for good. God wastes nothing, not a tear, not a trial, not even the seasons that seemed silent. The truth is, faith doesn't protect you from the storm, it preserves you through it. The disciples once feared the wind and waves, but Jesus was asleep in the boat. He wasn't unaware, he was unafraid. His peace wasn't shaken by the sea because His power ruled over it. That same Jesus is in your boat today. The winds may roar, but they cannot overturn what He commands to stand. Lord, when fear rises, remind me that you are greater than what surrounds me. When my heart trembles, whisper that you are still in control. I may not understand why the waves grow high, but I will trust the one who walks on them. You are not only the God of calm waters, you are the God who reigns in the storm. Even what the enemy meant for harm, you turn for good. What feels like breaking is often your way of building something stronger in me. When I'm tempted to run, teach me to remain. When I'm tempted to despair, remind me that this too shall pass. You are not just working around my pain, you are working through it, shaping my faith into something that cannot be moved. Sometimes the miracle is not that the storm stops, but that my heart finds peace while it rages. That's the power of your presence, Lord. You steady what's shaking. You quiet what's loud. You breathe life into what feels weary. You turn chaos into clarity and fear into worship. So even in this storm, I will lift my eyes to you. I will remember that your hand still holds mine, your word still stands, and your purpose still prevails. The night may be long, but the dawn will come. Every storm has an expiration date, but your faithfulness is eternal. I may not know what tomorrow brings, but I know who commands tomorrow. You are my fortress, my refuge, my calm in every chaos. So I will rest, not because the wind has stopped, but because my soul knows who controls the wind. And when this season passes, I'll look back and see that every wave carried me closer to you. In the morning, O Lord, you will hear my voice. In the morning, I will direct my prayer unto you and will look up. Psalm 5:3. There is a quiet beauty in trusting God's timing. We often pray for answers and expect them to arrive on our schedule, but heaven doesn't move by human clocks. God's timing is not delay, it's design. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. That means even when the way seems uncertain, the one who leads you is sure. His plan is never late, and his purpose never fails. There are seasons when God seems silent, but silence does not mean absence. It means he's still writing the story, working in unseen places, aligning details you can't yet perceive. What you call waiting, God calls preparation. Every unanswered prayer is a seed planted in faith, waiting for his appointed moment to bloom. The delay is not punishment, it's protection. His mercy making sure that what's meant for you arrives when you're ready to carry it. Lord, help me not to rush your process. Teach me to rest in your pace, even when my heart longs to see what's ahead. I confess that sometimes I mistake waiting for abandonment, but you remind me again that your ways are higher. When impatience stirs, quiet me. When fear whispers, remind me that you are still good. I may not see what you're doing, but I can trust the hands that hold my life. In Ecclesiastes 3:11, your word says, He has made everything beautiful in its time. That means even the things that once brought pain will one day reveal purpose. So I choose to surrender my timetable. I choose to believe that the same God who created the sunrise knows exactly when my breakthrough will appear. You are not in a hurry, because perfection never rushes. And though I may not understand every turn, I know that every turn leads me closer to your will. Waiting is not wasted when I'm waiting with you. You're teaching me patience that deepens peace, faith that matures in stillness, and gratitude that grows even before the answer comes. So, I will keep walking, not by sight, but by trust. Every step, every pause, every breath is part of your orchestration. If today feels slow, I will remember that your timing is always right. If tomorrow feels uncertain, I will cling to the promise that your direction is never wrong. You are the God who parts seas at midnight and calls the morning sun to rise right on time. And so I rest in you. Your clock never fails. Your seasons never miss their cue. I will not grow weary in the waiting, for your timing is perfect and your plan is peace. My soul waits for the Lord, more than watchmen wait for the morning, more than watchmen wait for the morning. Psalm 136. There is a beauty in renewal that only God can give. Life has a way of draining your strength, your joy, even your desire to keep pressing forward. But every morning, God invites you to start again, to breathe deeply, to rest in His promises, to remember that His mercy is new today. Isaiah 40:31 declares, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint." Renewal doesn't come from striving harder. It comes from surrendering deeper. You don't have to carry yesterday's weight into today's grace. The Lord knows when your heart feels tired and your spirit feels stretched thin. He knows the burdens you hide behind quiet smiles. Yet He whispers, "Come to me." When you draw near, His strength becomes yours. His joy becomes your fuel. His peace becomes your resting place. Lord, I need your renewal today. Breathe fresh life into my weary soul. Where discouragement has crept in, replace it with hope. Where fear has settled, plant faith that stands firm. Remind me that every ending in you is also a new beginning. Help me to see this day not as a repeat of yesterday, but as a new canvas painted with your mercy. So often, I try to fix myself, to recharge through my own effort. But true renewal doesn't come from more doing. It comes from more being in your presence, being still before you, being honest about my weakness so that your strength can be made perfect in it. You never ask me to perform, only to abide. You never demand perfection, only surrender, and in that surrender, you restore my soul. Your word says in Psalm 23:3, "He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for His name's sake." Lord, lead me today. Restore what's been drained. Revive what's been delayed. Refresh what's been forgotten. Teach me that renewal is not a one-time moment, but a daily exchange. My weakness for your strength, my worry for your wisdom, my weariness for your presence. As I move through this day, let renewal show in my words, in my patience, in my joy. Let others see in me the quiet confidence that comes from walking with you. And when this day ends, may I rest knowing that I lived it fully with your grace alive within me. Tomorrow will bring its own demands, but I will meet them with renewed strength because you have filled me again. Satisfy us in the morning with your unfailing love, that we may rejoice and be glad all our days. Psalm 90:14. There comes a moment when you realize that everything you've walked through, every joy, every heartbreak, every prayer whispered in the dark, has been leading you closer to redemption. God never wastes a season. 2 Corinthians 5:17 says, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has gone, the new has come." That promise isn't just about eternity, it's about today. Each sunrise is another chance to live as someone renewed, redeemed, and deeply loved. You don't have to stay defined by who you were or what you've done. The cross covered it all. Grace has already rewritten your story. And while the enemy loves to remind you of your past, God delights in reminding you of your purpose. Every scar can tell a story of survival. Every weakness can reveal His strength. You don't need to earn His favor. You already have it through Jesus. Lord, I thank you that I don't have to be perfect to be loved. I don't have to fix myself to be accepted. You took the broken pieces of my life and made something beautiful. Every time I fall short, your mercy lifts me again. Every time I doubt, your word steadies my faith. You are the restorer of all things, my past, my peace, my identity. Help me live today as someone truly redeemed. Let my words bring healing. Let my heart overflow with compassion. Let my life point others back to your grace. When shame tries to pull me back into old ways, remind me that the old has gone. I am not who I used to be. I am who you say I am, chosen, forgiven, free. In Romans 8:1, your word says, "There is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus." So I release the guilt, the fear, the self-doubt, and I step into freedom. Redemption doesn't erase the past. It transforms it into testimony. What once hurt now carries meaning. What once felt lost now bears fruit. You've made all things new, including me, and as I move forward, Lord, let me never forget that redemption is not just a gift to receive, but a story to share. Help me extend grace as freely as I've received it. Help me see others through your eyes with patience and mercy that restores. Tomorrow will bring new battles, but I'll face them as someone redeemed, not defeated. The old has passed, the new has come. Let the morning bring me word of your unfailing love, for I have put my trust in you. Show me the way I should go. Psalm 143:8. Yesterday, a woman sat alone in her car after losing her job. She whispered, "God, what now?" And just as tears fell, a message pinged on her phone, a verse she'd read before, but forgotten. Jeremiah 29:11. "For I know the plans I have for you." In that moment, peace returned. Trust is not built in the absence of struggle. It's built in the presence of a faithful God. Sometimes the answer isn't a door opening, but a heart surrendering. God's timing will never fail you, and His promises will never expire. When everything feels uncertain, remember, His hand is steady. You can trust the one who never changes, for His plan is already perfect.